Hi, welcome to the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey. Um, so I decided to take the Con Air challenge, which means to watch the movie Con Air, uh, with Nicolas Cage. It's Jerry Bruckheimer's involved. I don't even have to ask. I didn't look that up. You can just smell Jerry Bruckheimer's breath on this. His meth breath. I hate that guy. Um, Malkovich is in this for some reason. Danny Trejo, bunch of people in this movie. John Cusack's in it. Cole Meany, among others. So, and I like to the point where it goes Con Air. So Nicolas Cage. The whole thing begins with a little bit of money from the Pentagon paid to Jerry Bruckheimer to do some military propaganda with some brief footage of like Gulf War One, because this came out in '97, so no other wars were happening at the time. And it's like Rangers go back to the 1700s and they fought in every war and they're awesome. And it's like, yeah, the Pentagon threw you some bones for that one. So Nicolas Cage is an Army Ranger. He's a sergeant. I saw Three Stripes briefly. He's getting out of the Rangers, out of the military, goes to meet his wife, who's preggo with the baby, who has to be like 2 weeks pregnant because she still looks really hot. And then there's three guys at the bar that they're celebrating. He just got back, and they're like, she knows he's a regular. One of the dudes hitting on the lead's wife is a regular at the bar, so she knows him. And then they go outside. It's raining, and these three guys attack Nicolas Cage. And one guy pulls a knife, and Nicolas Cage beats up two guys and kills one guy with like that whole thing that was like straight out of Last Soldier, I think it was. Like he hit him up in the nose. I think it was what's supposed to happen. And his nose went into his brain and it killed him, which is like, no, he didn't. Thank you, Jerry Bruckheimer. And then a really, really awful lawyer says plead guilty to manslaughter. Um, and you'll get like 4 years and serve one, and then the judge is like you're gonna serve no less than 7 to 10, and it's like I'm not a lawyer. I would pay money if I were a lawyer. I would pay the client the opportunity to represent him in this case. Holy shit! And then it's I don't know that the military might even provide a lawyer at that point. Maybe not, because he did just get discharged. But he's got a civilian lawyer, and it's just like you would. I don't know how you fucked that up. I don't know how you screw up that case. That was the most clear cut self defense case ever. His wife is a witness. And the one guy at least, I think the other two guys just sat there. But everybody in the bar saw the one dude come up and get in their face initially. It's like, this is, oh my God. And then he's got lacerations on his face. He's bleeding. Um, you see the guy break the glass with the bottle, coming in with your bottle. So I imagine he got a cut either from being punched. I mean, there is DNA evidence everywhere. So it's like, this is open and shut. I don't know that a district attorney wouldn't likely pick up this case, much less take it before the judge. And the judge would be like, this guy just got out of the Army Rangers. He's a sergeant. I don't know if I'm sure he's supposed to be a veteran. I'm sure he's supposed to have combat experience. Otherwise, they're not going to make a movie where he doesn't. It's like, no, dude, I was a pug. Oh, and I sat around like counting like staples to make sure there's no staples in the staple gun. And then, oh man, I had to get like this a lot of coffee one time, brah, one time, it was a kernel. and I had to get Colonel coffee. I served my country. No one's going to make that movie, not Brockheimer. So I'm sure he's like, got 4 tours in or something, even though this is the 90s. He's not near old enough. Something like that. The first, it's not even 10 minutes. Um, I'm 5 minutes in. I'm five and a half, just under 5.5 minutes in. And already, if I wasn't doing a review, I'd have walked away. This is so stupidly ridiculous. And it's just like, oh gosh. And then you look at the cast, and it's like Cage is in it when he still had a career that was respectable. Like, this was probably the beginnings of Nicolas Cage. Where you're like, what's happening here? What's happening to my boy? What happened to Raising Arizona Nicolas Cage? This is Nick. This is like, when he got into coke really bad or something. And then they've got him in a fairly cleaned up army cut. Nicolas Cage, good looking guy, but has just always had that receding hairline. I don't know that there was a time where he didn't. Like, he probably had it when he came out of the womb and it never went away. But through the rest of the film, he looks now, he's got hair down here, but he's got the receding hairline and he's got some gray, and it's just like, that looks awful. And I think he's supposed to look sexy or something. Like, it makes sense. You just got out of prison. Whoa, how? Hi. And you're supposed to look tough and haggard and like you've been in prison and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know if it's Nicolas Cage's ego. Do the ladies think he looks good? Like, why is he doing that hair? It's just odd. It's an odd decision because he looks good. He looks good in his Army Ranger haircut. It compliments him. And then he's like, "No, we can't do that. That you know, it's easier to look at." So Nicolas Cage. I don't even know if I have the stamina to do the review for the rest of the film all in one go. So I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to bite this off in chewable bites because wow, that was stupid. So I'll cover some points and then I'll come back to it. So what's gonna happen? All these like heavy hitters, as far as the prison world goes, are gonna end up on a prison transport plane, which is like, would they even do that? If it's gonna be this much of a concern, and so it does the typical Hollywood have your cake and eat it too. Oh, there goes the dogs. I'll be back. I have to kill our puppies. They have it coming. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the dogs. They deserve to die. Cheers.